Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of True Crime Strategic Eyes. I appreciate you guys for joining me today. First of all, I want to say happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a great time with your family. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, that's okay too. But if you do celebrate Thanksgiving, which is a non-denominational type holiday, has nothing to do with religion, doesn't even really have to do with politics. It's just a time to be with your family. I hope that you accomplished that. I hope you was with a loved one, whether they're a blood relative or somebody who is close to you as a friend or a lover or whatever. I hope you was with somebody. You weren't by yourself. And I hope that you got to enjoy fellowship and good food. So happy belated Thanksgiving. For those of you who are going to take part in the Black Friday celebrations of spending your money on things you really don't need, good luck with that. I'm broke, so I can't join you. But we're here. We're here yet again. And before I get started, I want to say something. I'm covering the crap out of this case. Why? It's a good question. Because I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that the power, the money, and the influence that exists in this case. Remember, David is a former TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, whatever celebrity. He made his money making music and making videos on the internet. But let us not forget that at this moment, this time, right now, he is under contract with one of the most successful and powerful record labels in the industry, in the world, and that is Interscope. All of your favorite rappers, R&B singers, rock stars, all of these people are part of Interscope. And I don't want Celeste's name to fall out of the media, fall out of attention, and then these people do what they do best, and they make deals, and they make shenanigans and all that good stuff, and then we find out what may have been a murder one charge, now manslaughter, and somebody who wasn't even there, somebody who wasn't even there, who needs a loan, takes the fall for it, and the real culprit, maybe, possibly, allegedly, D4VD, gets away scot-free, resuscitates his career, rides off into the sunset, making millions of dollars for these folks and himself. I don't want to see that happening. The only way we fight against this stuff is through awareness. Now, I'm not saying you force a show and you come on and you talk about nonsense. I don't do that on my channel. I'm not saying you come on a show and you just make stuff up that have no bearing in reality. I don't do that on my channel. But if there's something to talk about, if there's something that could get us closer to the truth, I think all YouTubers should explore it, because the more we speak about Celeste, the more we put her name out there, the more her voice is heard, the less likely, or rather the harder it is for the powers that be to do what they really want to do. They want to make that Southern California poor Lake Elsinore girl of Latino descent disappear because she doesn't matter. She's expendable. You see how some of these news agencies talk about her already? Oh, the runaway. What does runaway have to do with the fact that she was with D4VD? She wasn't running away on the streets. She wasn't selling herself on Skid Row. She wasn't shooting herself up with drugs. She ran away to be with an adult predator, in my opinion. But they already talk about her like she's the problem. She's the runaway. I heard that on some of my favorite channels. Some of the long crimes in the court TVs and the news nations, you hear them say that from time to time. I've never called her a runaway, because the fact that she left her home to be with D4VD is not the crime. That's her being misguided. The crime is D4VD opening up the door for her. The crime is him being with her, having a relationship with her, allegedly. That's the crime. That's the crime. We already see the victim blaming. We already see the minimization of who she is. Like almost she asked for it. She knew what she was doing. She had control. No, it doesn't work that way. You don't have control. You can't make choices when you're 13 years old. So I already see the setup happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. I see the corruption brewing. Because there's a lot of money at stake right now. There was a lot of money that was already paid out to D4VD. There's a lot of money that needs to be recouped. And to the powers that be, that money is worth more than the life of Celeste. We could do our part right here, right now, on these very platforms by keep pushing the narrative. Justice for Celeste. Keep talking about her, keep bringing her up, keep covering this story, not let this story disappear. Now, on our last live that we talked about, beautiful girl, we spoke about the possibility of her being pregnant. And there is a great many things that I, number one, forgot to put into that video, and number two, didn't even know existed prior to doing that video. Well, we got a lot of that stuff now. See, in that video, the crutch of our exhibits, right, the cornerstone of our argument that it was a possibility she could be pregnant was this video here.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, he's lying, bro. I'm gonna keep it a...
Right, that happened. She told me that she ran away, and a few months later passed. And mind you, when she told me that she ran away, I kept texting her like every...
Now listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. After deliberation, you know, I do my best work when I'm in the bathroom. I sat on the throne, whipped out the phone, listened to her interview again, consulted with my my right-hand man, Charmin. And after careful deliberation, I don't believe this girl. I don't believe that this girl knows Celeste. I think this girl's a weirdo. I'll be honest with you. I don't care if you're a minor. If you do weirdo things, I'm going to call you a weirdo. This little girl's a weirdo. I don't believe her. I don't believe that she knew Celeste. I don't believe she was Celeste's friend. I don't believe anything she said. The problem is, and it's a problem because I don't want it to exist. The problem is there's a whole bunch of evidence that pretty much points to what this little girl was saying, probably just for clout. That's the problem. The problem is we don't need this little girl. Let's go ahead and X this out right now. We don't need anything that she said. We don't need none of it. All we need to do is just look at the very posts that David and Celeste were posting themselves. Posts that are widely available to everybody. This is not an exclusive. This is aggregation. We're putting all of that in one place for you. That's the problem. So we're going to jump through this, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get through this. And, you know, like I said, I don't know if she was pregnant or not. I don't know. I don't want her to be pregnant. There's also the possibility that, like we discussed in the previous live, she was a little girl. She wasn't mature. There's also the possibility that she may have said she was pregnant because their relationship was on the rocks. We understand from many posts on the internet that they had broken up around August, September. The possibility she may have made that allegation up simply to keep David around. I don't know. I don't know. What I do know, once again, is that these people talked about pregnancy. So once again, big shout out to the research crew for putting together this timeline. I think these timelines are very important because there's so many dates involved with this because we're literally tracing a person's life. We're like looking at an itinerary of a person's life. Now, we wouldn't even normally be able to do this with an average person, but because this person is a celebrity and a lot of the things that they're doing is being documented on the internet, there's timestamps when they log on the internet, they have shows that are timestamped, they have appearances that have been timestamped, we're able to kind of put a timeline together. So it's a unique circumstance. But it's important because there's so much going on with this case. We need to get it together. We need to kind of like pace ourselves and kind of figure out who was where and when. Big shout out to Sarah Adams with a $5 super chat says, the Emmy said she was not pregnant and had not been pregnant within the last year. We know this, and we discussed this in a previous video. Her pregnancy allegations is more than a year. So that is a legal document that's basically saying the last 12 months as of the signing of this document. It did not say ever. It did not say, was the young lady or the decedent pregnant ever? It didn't say that in the document. It says, was she pregnant in the last year? Meaning 12 months prior from the document being signed. And the answer is no. There's no expanding on that. There's no paragraph, no explanation as to what they mean. All they're saying is, we've checked this body and we have not seen evidence that she's been pregnant within the last year. She was pregnant more than 12 months. We're talking about 18, 19 months prior. We're going to go through the timeline right now that basically shows that these pregnancy rumors were well beyond that 12-month period that death certificate is talking about. And that's not an autopsy report, by the way. That's a death certificate. So I hope that clears that up. I think I missed another super chat. And that's Jamie Pease with a $2 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for supporting the channel. All right. So let's get into this timeline. So January 21st, 2025, deleted user post about pregnancy. This is January 2024. Her body was viewed by the ME September 8th, 2025. Now, I don't know if the autopsy was done on September 8th. That's the date of death. But within a few days to a week after her body got into that ME's office, they did their autopsy. They signed off on that piece of paper, that death certificate, and they said, was she pregnant within the last 12 months? Was she pregnant within the last year? And they checked no. In January 21st of 2024, deleted user who we all know on the internet to have been Celeste. All evidence points in these posts. All the evidence points in these posts. And there are dozens and dozens and dozens. I would dare say hundreds of these posts. But I can safely say dozens because, some people are like, they got that savant in them and they want exact numbers. You can't say hundreds and you really meant dozens. They're like, you're wrong. It wasn't hundreds. It was dozens. Okay, calm down. I could safely say dozens and dozens of these posts. People have poured through these posts. People have connected the dots, and the internet consensus is that deleted user is Celeste. On January 21st, 2024, deleted user posts about pregnancy. Let's check that out. Zoom in. January 21st, 2024. Was this Celeste? Like I said, this is my research crew writing this, but we believe it's Celeste. The internet believes this is Celeste. David's Closet. Maddie, Mid, what about you? Deleted user, guys, Mox, yes. This guy says, I am feeling well. I guess that means I'm not. But I don't understand how these little kids talk. Deleted user, I think I'm pregnant. Maddie, what? Mox, LOL. Deleted user, I think I'm pregnant. Let's keep going. Deleted user, ... Add deleted user from Mox. Why do you think that you're pregnant? Mox, oh. Brody, no you. Mox, that was. Then deleted user responds to Mox saying, why do you think you're pregnant? Deleted user says, my belly's getting bigger. Moxon says, unexpected, I guess. Go down to 3. This person says, who's going to tell him? Are they talking about David? I don't know. Deleted says, my belly's getting bigger. This person responds, remember, this is children. David's circle is composed of children and very immature adults. We're talking about people who are in their 20s who act like they're 12, 13, and 14. That's his folks. That's his people. That's his folks. People who are in their 20s and act like they're 12 and 13 and 14 and literally 13 and 14 and 15-year-olds. So this person responds to her, my belly's getting bigger, with a fart emoji. Mox says, are you a virgin? What a dumb question to ask if somebody says they think that they're pregnant. What do you think? She's married? She's married? Does she think you got baby Jesus or something like that? Unbelievable. Delete said, it's easier said than done. Sometimes SMTH kicks my belly. I don't know. And then this person says, rule 1, buddy. What's the problem with being, I don't know, whatever. They're talking about some stupid stuff. Let's go to number 4, the last one. Then Mox gives some type of advice that we can't say. It's that we can't read the rest of it. It says, make sure you're really pregnant or not, and something such, and we don't know what else she said. Then deleted user response to Mox by saying, I don't have parents, but thanks for the advice. Now, we knew that she had a really bad relationship. Celeste had a really bad relationship with her parents. I don't really know at this point how bad that relationship was. I don't know if it was just typical teenagers who can't control their emotions, who are rebelling, and so they view their parents worse than what their parents actually are, or if, you know, the parents were abusive or strict or whatever, or all of the above. We do know that family members, we read this on one of my previous shows, where family members on social media posts are saying that the mother of Celeste doesn't know how to raise children and all her children are out of control. She's not a good parent. So this is her own flesh and blood saying that she's a terrible parent. Now you go ahead and you connect those dots and you say, well, it makes sense that Celeste believes that her mother's terrible. If your own relatives believe that you're a terrible parent, we can't deny Celeste for thinking that she has terrible parents. All right, let's keep going. Get back into this. February 14th, remember the 21st, she says she thinks she's pregnant. She's in the Discord. She's in David's closet. David's closet. By the way, I've seen some very interesting pictures of David that makes me believe that he might be bisexual. I don't think that that's a bad thing. That's not an insult to him. You know, this is 2025. We do not denigrate people for being who they are and living their truth. We support all people here on True Crime Strategic. But when I am investigating a subject, like I'm doing a pseudo investigation on the internet, I want to know everything about you. So that matters to me. It may not matter to some of you, but as a detective, everything matters to me. Everything. Because now when I see somebody like Neo, who seems to be one of his closest friends, I'm asking, how far would Neo go to assist him? Because maybe he's not just a friend, but maybe allegedly he's a lover as well. And that might change the dynamic on what Neo is willing to do to assist David if David did something stupid and is asking for help. Help. Because he made a bad choice. I don't know. These are all allegations. Don't know it to be true. All I know is I've seen some very troubling pictures that make me say, interesting. Very interesting, D4VD. Anyway, let's keep going. February 14th, Celeste reported missing. February 18th, Celeste found by her family. So she was found a couple days later. March 19th, 2024, Celeste reported missing yet again. So she disappeared for Valentine's Day. She went with her man, David, allegedly, and they had their fill. They did what they did, whatever it is they did. And then the parents found her again, and then she goes missing March 19th. Then April 5th, Celeste reported missing again. So she's reported missing on the 19th of March, and then she was reported missing again on the 5th. On July 11th, 2024, David posts about alleged pregnancy. Remember, she first stated it in January. We now pretty much got close to 6 months of her being pregnant. That's a lot of pregnancy. Now, once again, I'm not saying that she was literally pregnant. This could be a cruel joke, or she could have believed she was pregnant. I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm leaving everything open until we get an actual autopsy and we can say definitively that she had never been pregnant. The toxicology, all that shows there's no pregnancy hormones in her. There was no uterus found. I mean, no fetus found in her uterus. There was no signs of an abortion. There was no chemicals of abortion inside her, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just leaving the door open because I think it's too preliminary to say anything at this point is a hard no or even a hard yes. Even believing that David is the one who took her life. It's too early to say that. It's all alleged. That's why I constantly say alleged when I talk about David, because it's all alleged. I think the only thing we may kind of be sure of, which is not 100%, is that David was involved in a relationship with Celeste. Beyond that, we don't know. We're trying to figure it out. Before I go any further, big shout out to I'm Just Saying with a $5 super chat. With that super chat saying, would the Emmy have seen that? I'm really starting to think that the Emmy is in David's pocket, allegedly. Yes, they should be able to see if she was currently pregnant. They also should be able to see, well, I'm not sure if they should. I know they'd be able to see if she was currently pregnant. They would be able to see that. I don't know because it's not my expertise. If they'd be able to see if she was pregnant in the past or if she's ever been pregnant. I don't know that. I can't tell you that. What I can say is that we don't have the autopsy. So all of our suspicions about the ME, about whoever, may be wrong because when we see that autopsy, if we ever get to see that autopsy, it might actually have everything just there sitting like, hey, look, we did a thorough job. We did what we were supposed to do. This is the facts of what we found. Big shout out with Rockman with a $5 super chat says, happy Thanksgiving, y'all. I'm on my way to St. Cloud, Florida now for a family get together. Much love, one love, y'all. Thank you so much and enjoy time with your family, Rockman. Well deserved. You're a hardworking man. Keep up the good work, brother. Enjoy. So, let's get the image of that. This is the July 11th, 2024 post. All right. Take another sip of this. Hit that like button, by the way, people. Please hit the like button so we can get into the algorithm. We got almost 300 people watching this stream and only 132 likes. I'm doing my part. I'm giving you the stuff that you obviously want to see. That's why you're here watching it. Whether you like me or not, you're here, you're watching it. Please do your part and support the channel and hit that like button. Number one, exhibit number one. They're talking about watching Black Clover. Then Raven says, hi, David. Then Sophia had asked David in a previous post, are you happily married or single? Then David responds, me and @deleted_user got a kid on the way. Me and @deleted_user got a kid on the way. Why would you play like that if you didn't believe it? I don't know. Maybe he is playing. But you know that @deleted_user is a minor. Like that rapper says. What's that rapper name? I don't know. I don't follow these people. My kids know his name. It's a nice diss song he did, though. You know that this is not like Kendrick Lamar. This is not any typical lover you could just joke around and play with and all this stuff. Why? Why would you say that knowing her age? Why would you say that knowing her age? So I don't know. This could be a joke, but this is a joke in very poor taste considering the ramification of the person that you're joking about. But he said it. He said, me and @deleted_user, who we know to be Celeste, got a kid on the way. This person says, yeah. Somebody said, David, look, let's go over to exhibit number 2. This person says, wow. Then this person, Jose, says, David the Scrap King. I don't know what that means. This other deleted user says, wowzers. And then Ella says, yeah, D4VD's pregnant. And then deleted user responds to David's message saying they got a kid on the way, saying, JSSOYK. I don't know what that means. Can somebody help me? March next year? Laugh my ass off. What is JS so you know? Oh, just so you know, March next year, laughing my ass off. So I figured it out. Just so you know, March next year, Laugh my ass off. That's the due date, she said. The due date is March of next year. Laugh my ass off. Wow. Let's keep going. Let's go to exhibit number 3. DiPolo says, I need it. I'm fiending for it. We don't know what they're talking about. It could be related, maybe not. Then this person says, everybody jump mighty. Then this person says, D4VD has a kid. And then deleted user response, on the way, yeah. They going hard on this. On the way, yeah. Let's go down to exhibit number 4. David says, I'll join the group chat with wifey and give y'all the story time. Remember, he always did videos with Celeste. I'll join the group chat with wifey. That means that is your lover. And give y'all the story time. Now, there's allegations and rumors going around that they've found stuff in David's phone that puts the nail in the coffin that he was intimate with Celeste. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't seen it. I haven't verified it, but that's what the rumors are. It would make sense. People like to record themselves doing things. It's just human nature. And if this is a person you believe is your girlfriend and you guys are intimate for an extended period of time, you're going to say things, you're going to take pictures of things, videos of things, you're going to post things, you're going to whatever. You're going to have conversations in text message that nobody else is seeing. You're going to have, FaceTimes with each other that nobody else is seeing. That's going to be very incriminating. I don't know if it's true, but these are rumors. I've never seen them for myself, but it is what it is. Big shout out to Road Warrior 2024. $5 super chat says, please everyone hit the like button so we can get in the algorithm. Yep. He's trying to say algorithm, but he's got fat fingers just like me. Look at these thumbs, man. These fat fingers. I cannot type for nothing on the internet. Like, I hate texting now because I constantly have to correct what I text because I just can't. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Whatever. Let's keep going. Exhibit number 5. David says, what should I name my kid, guys? What should I name my kid, guys? There's a whole bunch of banter in here. Doesn't matter. What matters is David says, what should I name my kid, guys? Oh boy. Listen, this is his words. This is Celeste's words. We're not here pulling this theory out of our booty. This is what these people are saying in this Discord. And I'm going to take it seriously. I'm not going to say that it's 100% legit in that it actually was so, but I'm going to take it seriously because this is a minor that's involved with this. Was she pregnant? Probably not. A lot of time is going by, like I said before, I don't know if people misheard me. I heard a lot of confusion in the chat. In my previous show, I said abortion is legal. Legal. Is legal. Some people say, why is he saying it's illegal? I did not say illegal. Sometimes I mess up when I talk. I re-listen to it. I didn't mess up at all. I said legal. It is legal. So it's possible she could have gotten an abortion, but regardless of whether it's a real pregnancy or not, they were talking about it. They were talking about it. So here's the Reddit. This is the Reddit that shows this conversation. I think I'm pregnant. This is what's pregnant. This is where we got it from. We're showing you our sources. Let's go to the TikTok.
David got Celeste pregnant allegedly, according to new Discord messages that have resurfaced, leading people to believe that she may have been pregnant when she was murdered. This is all alleged information, guys, but according to these messages, it sounds like it could be true. We have these messages from David saying, I'll join the group chat with wifey and give y'all the story time. And then we have him saying, me and @deleted_user got a kid on the way. And the @deleted_user is this account here. And as you guys can see, that is Celeste's hand, we believe, with David's name tattooed on it. The ring looks similar, especially to that ring from this photo.
Right, real quick. And I just want to make sure I'm perfectly clear because people are saying this in the chat, and I agree with you guys 100%. She could have been pregnant. She could have got abortion. She could have miscarriage. She could have thought she was pregnant, but she wasn't pregnant. She just had indigestion. All of these are viable theories. Or it could have just been a complete lie joke because her and him were just trolling the internet. They're having a couples troll. I don't know if is that a thing? Couples trolling? You know, a family that trolls together, stays together until one of the family members kill you. Who knows? I don't know. But we're talking about it because they were talking about it. We're talking about it because they were talking about it. Now, once again, we have almost 500 people watching this right now. You got to support this channel if you want to see me stay here on this platform. I really would already like to leave. The only reason why I'm still here is because my Patreon is not big enough. If my Patreon gets big enough, I'm out of here. Hit that like button so we can get into the algorithm. That's all we ask from you. That's all we ask. My fellow Americans, hit the like button. Support a fellow American that's giving you this content that you obviously want to see because you're here watching it. Let's keep going.
Photo of David and Celeste. That same @deleted user posted this photo. And that message, me and @deleted user got a kid on the way, is from July 11th of 2024. So that brings the question, when Celeste was unalived, was she pregnant? Also, Celeste would have only been 14 years old at that time. And remember this old clip that resurfaced, guys? And after Celeste had accidentally leaked that David raped her, it sounds like, that's when he ended the live.
He explained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
You know, I said that and people attacked me like, no, she wasn't talking about him. She was talking about Epstein and all that stuff. And then the person in the chat was talking about Epstein. They were calling David Epstein. And if you don't know anything about Epstein, the whole thing about Epstein is that he was taking advantage of teenage girls. That was his whole thing. That was his whole thing. He didn't want prepubescent. He didn't want 20-year-olds. He wanted teenagers. That was his thing. Celeste is a teenager. David is with her. The guy in the chat called him Epstein, say he's on Epstein's list, meaning that he was one of the guys that was diddling these teenagers, like so many of our politicians and our billionaires, and that's why they don't want to release them lists. I think they released it now, right? But we don't hear nothing about it. Whatever. Bottom line is, I don't care about that. That's not a big deal for me. Bottom line is, she made that comment. And to me, my opinion, that comment was to him. Just like the commenter was talking about him, the commenter literally said, you're being put, or you're going to be put on Epstein's list, David. And then she makes this comment. This comment was about him. Because you know what? Did she feel like she was being raped? No, but she knows the law. So she knows that the law will call him a rapist, even though she likes him and she wants to be with him. Kids have terrible senses of humor. They have terrible senses of humor. You should hear the jokes that my kids crack on me. Sometimes I have to check them like, yo, I know you're joking. I'm not upset, but I don't want you to get into the habit of thinking you could make these kind of jokes because people will start thinking that you're not nice. You're not nice. Like teenagers, they go through that phase where they start testing the water and their brains just don't filter the way we filter. We think 10 steps forward. We're thinking to ourselves, if I say this, then this person's going to feel this way and I got to work with them every single day. Let me just keep that to myself. That's what adults do. That's what an adult brain gifts you. The wisdom to know when to speak, when not to speak. Children don't have that filter. A 13-year-old who has tons of hormones shooting through her body at every minute. Her brain is literally changing. Her facial structure is going from that baby facial structure to that woman facial structure. Everything about her is in flux. Everything about her is in flux. Her brain is not going to be attuned to have that filter, and that's what happened. And what did you see happen? All this time, and I'm sorry to stop the video, but this is important to me. All of this time, I want you to see something. I want you to see something.
Ended.
We see something very interesting there. David, in 90% of the pictures and the videos that we see, is trying to act like he is a 13-year-old boy. The moment she screwed up, what is he doing right now? What does he look like right now? If somebody gets it, oh my God, I'm going to love you forever. Look at the picture. Forget about this pretty lady below. Look at the picture. Look at David and Celeste. What do you see? A parent. That's why you're part of the family, Obsidian, because you're a smart lady. You're a nerd, and I love nerds. A parent. He does not look like a teen. He looks like a parent. He looks like he's disciplining. He looks like he's counseling. He looks like he's mentoring if you want to be nice about it. He looks like a parent. The moment she messed up, he's not 13 years old anymore. The moment she messes up, he's daddy now. You see that? And look at her face. My audience is mostly women. No disrespect. If you're in an abusive relationship, please go find help. Contact the domestic violence hotline. Because if you are being abused, you might look like that. But for those of you ladies who are not in an abusive relationship and stand up for yourself and have your own voice, if your man is talking to you like that, you going to put that face on? What is that face? That face is fear and subservientness. That face is of submission, fear, and subservientness. So as soon as she messed up, he's now D4VDD adult, and she is Celeste the child. The moment she messed up, look how that power dynamic changed. That's why this is illegal. That is why this is illegal, because the wisdom of all of us as a society and our lawmakers understand that there's no way that this relationship could be equal. There's no way biologically, mentally, or spiritually that this relationship could be equal. That is why this is wrong. I just wanted to point that out for you folks. I wanted to point it out for you just in case you didn't understand why we don't agree with this. Let's keep going.
Alive.
He explained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes.
Delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
And once the chat realized what was said, you can even tell from their comments. Some people said,
His sweet ass. Oh, mods, can we delete all vibes? And then we... Man, he's a mocha latte slipper. I'm telling you, he got the mocha latte vibes. Hey, a mocha latte chocolate slipper.
go. End stream. Oh no. LMFAO canceled. Public statement, David. End stream. Nah, she's cooked. And you are done.
All of them are supporting him. Like, they're telling him, let's go back. Because instead of them seeing that something is wrong, let's not use the G word. We love everybody here. I make fun of people, but this is an inclusive community, and we love everybody here, okay? So be careful with that G word, okay? Let's keep going.
Once the chat realized what was said, you can even tell from their comments. Some people said, yo. End stream. Oh no. LMFAO canceled. Public statement, David. End stream. Nah, she's cooked. And you are done. Honestly, this is so heartbreaking to me because she is literally a child. I really want to know, was she reported missing to the police before this? Like, I do want to know more from the family side of it.
Good point. Appreciate you. Thank you. Good job to her. Actually, I'm going to put that back up there because I want to shout out her channel. Shout out her channel real quick.
David
All right, so this young lady, her name is Stephen with the Deets. Okay, Steph with the Deets, not Stephen. Steph with the Deets. Big shout out to Steph with the Deets. I like the way that she put us through that, walked us through it, and her point of view. So big shout out to her. Go over to TikTok. Definitely show her some love and subscribe to her channel. All right, now let's keep going. Down the rabbit hole is in the building with a $5 super chat. Says, happy Thanksgiving. I like mocha iced, no latte. Yeah, all right. You better be careful, girl. You don't need no latte. You don't need no extra leche in your mocha, okay? You better be careful. You don't want to end up like Celeste with the D4VD. Big shout out with Down the Rabbit Hole. She does a really good job on her channel. She's a fellow true crimer, and she's covering this case as well. So definitely big shout out there, and thank you for coming through, showing love to the channel. You know, we definitely appreciate you, man. All right, let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. All right. We got another video. This was another picture, rather. This was just added to our doc here, and this basically was showed inside that video as well. We believe this to be Celeste's hand. Most people believe this to be Celeste's hand. Of course, it's all alleged. We ain't see the autopsy photos, so we don't know this is her finger, but there's been multiple pictures that she's been observed in that she'd have this on her hand. All right, keep going. Let's keep going. So it says, if Celeste was pregnant and due in March 2025, she would have conceived in late June, early July. Now, the problem I have with that is because when we shoot up here, this is the first time she says she thinks she's pregnant. Now, a lot of times, women will have false alarms, like when you guys are having unprotected sex with your lovers. And listen, I don't want to sound like I know, because I'm not an expert in this. Obviously, only women can be experts in this. But I do know when we were trying to conceive our children, and we started, you know, doing what we got to do to have the kids, you know, shooting up the club, just shooting up the club every night. All right, come on, you know. There were moments where we had false alarms, where it's like, yo, I think I might have gotten pregnant, and it's like, nope, it didn't happen. You know, false alarms didn't happen that often because, you know, I eat a lot of mangoes and I'm very potent, but still, there were moments when we had those false alarms. So is it possible that she was joking in January and it was a false alarm? But it does appear that she has this first statement of, I might be pregnant in January. And then July is kind of like where they're like going full steam with it. They're going hard with it. Like, I think I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. Big shout out to Generic White Female with 1 gift membership. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. You constantly are so generous with us, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, but it looks like that baby would have been conceived around June, July, and it looks like that's when they kind of like were picking up steam on their comments that Celeste was pregnant. All right, so here comes September 8th, 2024, and that's where we get the video of Celeste arguing with the neighbors. Here comes January 2nd, 2025, the last photo of Celeste on David's camera, according to SF Investigates. On February 23rd, 2025, David is seen cleaning what appears to be Celeste's shoes on David's The Coolest TikTok. 25 cents a pair comment, if you want me to clean your shoes, I got you, or something. So let's see if we take a look at that. First of all, he's got my all-time favorite shoes. Those are the Nike Air Max Up Tempos. He got them in that desert gray color. Fire, by the way. You are shaming those amazing Up Tempos. Classic shoes from my era. I love Air Maxes from my era. The new stuff, yeah. But the 95s, the 97, the Up Tempos, the CB4s, all that stuff, like that's my era. But anyway, I hate you for having those shoes. I got 2 pairs of Up Tempos, but I wish I had that color. Anyway, let's keep going. Go back. I want to see him cleaning these shoes from the beginning. Okay. Because there are hints of Celeste around February and March 2025 as the Tesla. And then we go to, you know, just showing you guys the weather and all that stuff. This is from our previous timeline. that's where we are with that, man. I want to go ahead and now dive into a few other things. Let's get out of this. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys this. Well, first let's do this, and then I'm gonna show you guys the attorney, the prosecutor who's assigned to this case. Let's keep going.
A Holiday Inn because
So Ashley Banfield's going to talk about a lot of these sickening posts. What's this one right here? All right, Ashley Banfield's going to talk about a lot of these sickening posts that were found on David's Discord. Let's hear her perspective of it.
okay, this is crazy. I'm in the pool area of a Holiday Inn because it's Parents Weekend at Indiana, and I have to update you on the David story, but my husband's sleeping, so I just had to find a place, and this is the only place where nobody was hanging out. Okay, so here are the things that's happened today. Actually,
All right, hold on. Before she says that, Rockman91, celebrating 3 months as a patrol member, says, like the .gam stream, y'all. So listen to Rockman. Hit that like button on the stream. I really don't understand the psychology of how YouTube works. I do know there's a percentage of the audience that's watching via television, and there is a way to like a stream on a television, but not everybody knows how to. But I really don't understand the psychology of people that you could watch a show and you can hear a creator ask you to support the channel simply by, for free, hitting a like button. And some people are like, nah, go screw yourself, Strategic. But hurry, get back to the content. Why are you stopping and asking me to get back to the content? But I don't want to press the like button. Screw you. Come on, guys. Hit the like button, support the channel. All we're trying to do is grow this channel. You know, we don't get paid whenever somebody hits the like button. We need it so that we can be shown to a wider audience, so that our channel can grow, so it does not stay stagnant. I've been stuck at 100,500 for like 2 weeks because nobody is showing, because YouTube is not showing my channel to a wider audience. Mind you, I'm getting decent views from the people who are here, but they're not showing it to a wider audience. And so we're just stuck. Can we not be stuck? Can we get to 100,000, 1,000 people? I don't know. That'd be 101,000, that is. That would be nice. Anyway, let me just make sure I got all my super chats before I get back to Ashley Banfield. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. I'm up to date to date rather. Yep. I don't like missing people, man. If you send me a super chat, I gotta shout you out. It's important. You broke bread with me. The least I could do is acknowledge you. All right, so let's get back to this. Ashley Banfield.
a lot has happened today. So first of all, his American tour is canceled. Done. He's not doing any more dates here in America. He still has dates on the books in Europe, but 2 of them in France have been canceled. And it's probably not likely that he's going to continue the tour in Europe either, because if he's under investigation for a homicide, he'll probably not be allowed to leave the country. If he's arrested, certainly won't be allowed to leave the country. Also, some streaming video has surfaced of him and Celeste together. Doesn't show a romantic relationship, but it certainly shows them together. So the connection is definitely there. Then some Discord messages surfaced, and TMZ's been doing some amazing coverage of it. But the Discord messages are disturbing because David kind of shows that he has like a fix on gore. He really likes gore. We all know what happened to Celeste. She was mutilated, dismembered, and put in the trunk.
Let me read that though. Gore. He likes gore. So gore greater than porn, meaning that he likes gore more than porn. How do you equate these two things unless you have a sick and depraved mind? How do you equate the P word where 2 adults, hopefully, are engaging in consensual activities with people getting stabbed and chopped up, possibly eaten, shot, bludgeoned, whatever? How do you get the same endorphins that you get out of this if you're interested in this type of stuff? If you're interested in this, the endorphin rush you get when you watch this type of activity, how do you get that same endorphin trigger in the pleasure spot of your brain? How do you get that same activation by watching violence? Something's not right there. And that's what he said. He said, I enjoy, this is the greater than sign for any of you who didn't take math class. This is the greater than sign, meaning, and what he's saying is, I like this more than I like this. Then he goes on, he says, I used to be addicted to watching gore videos. You know those Faces of Death videos, I presume? Like when I was growing up, you go buy them from the African guy on 125th Street, the VHS, got it on the sheet. When the cop come around, they just pull the sheet together and looking like Santa Claus walking down the street, trying to run away. We all saw those Faces of Death videos. I didn't find nothing pleasurable, and it was disgusting. It was the worst thing I ever seen. It actually traumatized most of us normal people. He said he liked to watch the Faces of Death stuff. That turned him on, allegedly. He said, I love gore. Well, there's a very thin line between gore, porn, and snuff. You guys know what snuff is, right? For people who think like David, allegedly, I presume, I don't know, I'm not in his brain, I think that would be the best of both worlds for him, right? Snuff. Could that then be translated to him enacting these fantasies on somebody who's actually there? Somebody who's in a position of subservientness to him. Somebody who looks up to him as an idol. Somebody who worships him. Would he then use that power to do some of these things to that person? Because that person is willing to do anything to stay in his world, to stay living in the Hollywood Hills instead of a 2-3 bedroom flat in Lake Elsinore with probably 1,000 relatives living in that house. What would you rather have? Hollywood Hills or Lake Elsinore? Possible. Celeste then says, my parents are so effing annoying. Since 2002. Somebody do the math. How old would Celeste have been in August 28th of 2022? Somebody do the math for me. Do the math for me. How old would she have been August 28th, 2022? She says, my parents are so effing annoying. They won't let me go see you perform. And then his response was, don't worry, I'll fix it. Obsidian says 11. I don't want your guesses. I want scientific fact. 11 is what Obsidian says. What's the consensus? Somebody do the math and give me the exact date, not your guesses. Looks like the consensus is 11. How old would David have been at that time? Now, I'm not thinking you guessing. I was thinking the 12-year-old people was guessing, but I was being nice. Obsidian got it. It's 11. I don't want to hear 1 month shy of 12. That helps the bad guy. You're smart, but you're too smart. You're helping the bad guy. She was 11. Legally, she was 11. And David was 17. Now, some of you say, well, 17 is still a minor. How many of you, when you were 17, was trying to groom an 11-year-old? How many of you, when you were 17, was trying to get with an 11-year-old? Make it make sense. 11-year-old Celeste says, they won't let me go see your performance. Now, in this instance, are they being a bad parent because they don't want their daughter to go see David or any performer? She's 11 years old. Maybe they don't have the money. Maybe it's too far. Maybe she has school. I can't presume from this interaction that they're bad parents because they won't allow her to go see David. And what does David say? I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Let's keep going.
Of a Tesla where she decomposed so badly that it was hard to identify her. Also in the Discord messages, some texts again that have surfaced from Celeste, apparently to David, saying, I'm so mad at my parents. They won't let me come out and see you perform. And David responds, don't worry, I'll fix it. Again, not confirmed that these are their texts, but this is reporting that has now come out. TMZ's been at the lead of doing a lot of this reporting. His last Instagram, this is really upsetting, was September 7th. And it was a promotion, right? To say, my re-release of a special version of Withered, his album that dropped last spring, is coming out like today. That was her birthday. That was her 15th birthday, which she more than likely did not make it because she was so badly decomposed when they found her the day after her birthday. She'd been in that trunk for quite some time. But it's so disturbing to think that his Insta post was on her birthday. By the way, speaking of that date, that release date, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. In fact, his label has halted the release and a lot of the promotions for David. And then there's the Grammy Museum. He was supposed to appear at an event on Wednesday, I think it's the 24th of September, and the website just quietly disappeared it. And it was a popular event. There was only wait list tickets available, right? He'd sold out, and the wait list is gone, and he's gone. No mention of it. And TMZ says the Grammy Museum isn't answering any questions. But stay effing tuned because this story just gets crazier. But I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. I think there's going to be an arrest. Whether it's David or someone close to him, I think there's going to be an arrest.
All right. Big shout out to Ashley Banfield. We appreciate her. We love her take. We don't always agree with her, but we do appreciate her take on these things. And yeah.
Discord messages and timeline of David and the deleted user who we believe to be Celeste speaking about being pregnant.
All right, so I think we covered that one already. It's just a different one from TikTok. So we'll end the show with this. This is the prosecutor who is assigned to this Celeste Rivas Hernandez case. This is a prosecutor. People are saying that she's really good at what she does, or people complaining that she does really long closing statements. I think somebody said 8 or 9 hours was one of her closing statements. Hey, listen, if she got the conviction, that's what she needed to do. There is no time limit on a closing statement. Well, the judge could pretty much say, hey, we're not going to be here forever and kind of rush it a little bit. But still, I don't know. Was this his lawyer? I'm sorry. Am I mistaken? Somebody said they thought this was Beth Hill deputy. Yeah, somebody stop it. Jesus Christ, Aurora. I'm going to stop reading the chat because y'all be trying to mess me up, man. Yes, this is the district attorney. This is Beth Silverman. This is not his attorney. So here we go. A little snippet of her style so we know, we know how she does business.
Feels like it's been a very long time since I stood up here and spoke to you last. I actually counted up the days yesterday. I think I've aged significantly. It's been about 40 days that we've now been in trial, and I know that you're all very anxious to get to deliberations. We're very anxious for you to get to deliberations. But I also wanted to take the opportunity to thank you over the course of the last few months. It's actually only a couple, but it's March, so it's like 3 months. So I'm going to count it that way, because we started in January, and if you recall, when we started, it was around the time of the 8th anniversary of Fabio Sementilli's murder. And we've come far since that date when we started an opening statement, and if you recall, I told you from the beginning that the evidence in this case is enormous. And in my opening statement, I laid out what I expected the people's case to look like. Throughout the last several weeks, we've then presented exactly what I told you we were going to present, and in addition to that, we presented much more. And I know that you might have surmised by now that I tend to be very thorough and detailed, and so I hope that you'll bear with me in my closing arguments. Because I will likely be just as detailed and
All right, so we'll stop it there because she will win every single case. I have full confidence that she will win every single case because she has the most annoying voice on the planet. And if I'm in the jury box, I'm gonna say, all right, I'm guilty. Just stop talking. Guilty. I am very thorough.
Does that make sense?
And I'm going to read every single line to you until you plead guilty as the defendant or you as the jury find them guilty.
Does that make sense?
Listen, she got a voice on her. Listen to this.
I've learned over the years that it's my job, my responsibility.
Oh, boy.
We have the burden of proof.
Yeah, we got the burden of proof.
That if I go over with you the evidence, not all of it, some of the witnesses I'm not going to talk much about because I think you've heard a lot about the details of what happened on January 23rd
Well, she
of
had
2017.
power
I think all of
against
you
the bonnet.
could probably lay out the timeline as well as I can.
Will she have the power to defeat the bonnet? Will she have the power to defeat the bonnet? I don't know, man. She kind of dry. You need a lot of energy to defeat the bonnet, okay? Blair Burke is really good. She's a really good attorney. Will she have the power? Will Beth Silverman have the power to defeat the bonnet? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. Will she have the power to defeat the bonnet? Operation Operation Save the Bonnet. I don't know.
But I'm going to highlight some of the pieces of evidence, some of the witnesses that were significant in this case. I'm also going to try and break down the law that Judge Cohen's going to give to you at some point.
All right, we're having a good time. It's time to end the show. I'm starting to act silly. Guys, I see you guys. You guys are amazing. Oh, man, I ended it too early. We had 498 users. We just need 2 more people to get to 500 people during this live stream. Come on, 500. Oh, it's over. People starting to leave already. Screw you. Get out of here. These audiences ain't loyal. You know what they say, these girls ain't loyal. You ain't loyal, man. Whatever. Hit that like button, guys. I appreciate you guys immensely. You guys were great. I had a great time hanging out with you guys. Listen, we got to do what we got to do. We're going to keep covering this. We want justice for Celeste. Listen, this is not going to be an easy road for us, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to be easy, but we got to do what we got to do, you know? And I have faith in the process, faith in the system that we're going to get justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And hopefully we'll be able to hold somebody accountable for what happened to Celeste. That being said, once again, somebody asked me if I'm going to talk about the National Guardsmen. We already spoke about that on this channel. We covered it when it was breaking news. I also did a video where I updated you guys and let you know that the Guardsmen were still alive. Then there's another update, which I spoke about on my Patreon, where one of the Guardsmen, the 20-year-old female, has succumbed to her injuries, and this is now a murder investigation. Some of the things that I'm hearing is that they're talking about this might be a terrorist attack. They're also talking about the mental illness of the shooter. It is what it is. A lot is going to change in this country because of this. And there's going to be a lot of ramping up on this immigration stuff that's going to cause a lot of bad people to be removed from this country and a lot of families to lose their loved ones who probably have done nothing wrong but try to live their best life possible in America. It is what it is. That's stuff for you, the people, to talk about and for the politicians to figure out. We're not going to do that here. But if you want to hear some of my opinions on politics, some of my opinions on the law, etc., then go over to the Patreon, because we did it live last night, like around midnight, where we talked about that. Strategic takes no breaks. I did a live stream in the morning on the allegation of pregnancy. I had Thanksgiving with my family. Came back around 11, 12 o'clock, midnight, and did a live stream that was almost 2 hours long for the Patreon. I'm working 24 hours a day. I don't play. I respect you guys as my audience. I love what I do here on YouTube. I love what I do in my day job. And so when I love something, I give it 100%. So I give you guys 100% of me. And hopefully one day it'll pay off. Hopefully one day we can have an audience like Grizzly True Crime, like Plunder, you know, and just basically be able to make a real impact on this world. Because I really want to. I really want to make an impact on this world in my own little way. So we'll just keep fighting, keep pushing, and hopefully one day the audience will meet us where we're at, and YouTube will give us the love that we deserve. So we'll see what happens, man. So yeah, big shout out to Marie Haran, who says justice for Celeste. I agree 1,000%. Let's do a yay for that. And you guys will notice I didn't crack that many jokes this show because we're talking about the pregnancy of a young woman, and I wanted to make sure that we kept the gravity of the severity and the seriousness of these allegations of a possible pregnancy. But you know, next show we'll be back to business, and we'll crack out jokes, but we'll also cover the material to the best of our ability. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember, we got a Patreon. Join the Patreon and also join the membership. We love you guys immensely. Happy Black Friday. Happy belated Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.